Hello, I am pausing for a cause. I have just spent the past 26 days trying to figure out if my contact for the past 3 years was in my best interest for my mental sanity. And I'm going to say, yes, it was. We're going to jump right into this. Have you ever felt like growing up as a daughter that you were praised for doing things on your own? Or let's see, maybe like you were always supposed to be there to help with your mother's emotions, and this just wasn't really felt like it was your job. This should really be the spouse's job. But no, your mom dedicated it to you. Have you ever felt like a lone wolf, or like your emotions were used against you, or you were even punished for having emotions of your own? If any of this sounds like you and your relationship with your mom, then maybe you're a daughter of a emotionally unavailable mom. And that was me. So the past 26 days, I have reconnected to see if I could have a relationship with my mom. Even at 24, who wouldn't want to have a relationship of some type with their parent? I definitely know I do. I have not enjoyed the past 2 years of not having any connection, but it's been very, very healthy for me and healing. What is a boundary? A boundary is something an individual needs to stay sane, to not feel like they're going crazy, to not have breakdowns, to not trigger their past memories that they just have worked so hard to overcome, and to fight those demons inside versus battling them and keeping them down, because it's just not healthy to do that. And through these past 26 days, I've really learned that I know what my boundaries are. So my boundaries relate to my stepdad. I want nothing to do with this individual. He put a video camera in my bathroom when I was a minor, and I feel like it was just kind of ignored, and I was just kind of taught that it never really happened. When these memories happen, this really happened. And the past 26 days have been very eye-opening. The only thing I have asked was my boundaries be respected, and this hasn't happened. How can this manifest? How does this look? I personally don't want to hear this individual's name, this individual's voice. And why is this individual that you are no longer married to coming to events at your new house? It's very strange to me, and it triggers me. These are things that can trigger an individual because they're boundaries, and if you cross a boundary, it can trigger someone. And what does a trigger mean? I know for me, it causes me to cry. It causes me to, I almost go into a childlike state with my emotions, and I get very frantic, almost sometimes to the point of bedwetting at night, knowing that this individual will be coming over or into a place that I'm supposed to reside that's safe. A lot of individuals can feel like this. So how do you maintain your boundaries? Voicing that. I know prior to my autism diagnosis, I felt like the only time I was heard was screaming and yelling. Well, this means you are not being recognized, your emotions are not being recognized as a child, or even as into a young adult by your parent. And this is unhealthy. In a healthy relationship, your mother would realize, hey, something is wrong with my child. What do I need to do to help that child? Not be punished by your emotions. It can be very damaging, and this causes an individual, when they grow up, to essentially be like, a lone wolf. And this isn't good. Everybody wants to have, companionship, not to just consider themselves a lone wolf and wanting to be a perfectionist. Over the past 26 days, I have loved the time spent with my mother, but at the same time, every time I felt like we would bond, guess who she would put on speaker? The one individual I asked to not have anything to do with. That's my boundary. I don't want to hear his name. It triggers me. I should feel like I'm in a safe place. She would intentionally walk into my bedroom and bring his name up, knowing that this would trigger me. Intentionally trying to cause a reaction out of me, to point the fingers and the blame and say, look, it's her. Even your own mother can do this. It's very rare that this happens, but it does happen. Again, if you ever grew up in a home where you just felt like nothing you ever did was okay, or even felt like you were being set up, to where things were going to be blamed on you. This is not normal. It's living under the veil of consciousness, is kind of how I consider it. And if your own mother lives under the veil of consciousness, how is she supposed to teach you any life skills? If chaos is all she knows, you're going to know chaos, and that's all you're going to know growing up. So, learning to separate yourself from this is so important. It's so important and so healthy for an individual to recognize these signs. I have had to go no contact again with my mom because she just couldn't respect the one boundary that I asked, which was to not have anything to do with my stepdad. I don't want him in my life. And I truly believe that he, as a predator, is using my mom, knowing she has these narcissistic traits, to his advantage and is manipulating the situation. None of this is healthy at all. So, for my sanity and for an individual's sanity, if you recognize and feel like these things are red flags, recognize them. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. And go do things that make you happy. You can never ever please a narcissist when they get their supply off of an individual. And unfortunately, sometimes that is from their own children. And usually mothers do that with their daughters. Enmeshment, it's just unhealthy all around. And if an individual's mother doesn't want to take the steps to change, then sometimes things never get better. And all an individual can do is heal themselves. Let me know down in the comments if you liked this content. I know it's been very, very healing for me to recognize what's been going on and continue my healing. Therapy is a great way to recognize what's going on. I know if you start researching and you're on YouTube and you're Googling, narcissistic traits, something's probably up. Something's probably going on, and these things should just be recognized. All right. Like, subscribe. Danielle out.